TikTok videos, clips, live streams, edits, stories, a legit ship in the fandom, fan art, and now, fan fiction. What have we done? What have we become? What was once a funny joke that my friend pranked me with on Christmas, making fun of the things I used to like when I was 15 years old,
You damn nerd!
has now turned into a multiverse. Literally a multiverse of inside jokes, plot, storyline. There are people who actually fight like it's a real ship in a real fandom. And now we have a legit fan fiction with 19,000 words. There's 3 out of 5 chapters. So this is already planned out, y'all. And a amazing writer. Looollll Writes has blessed us with a fan fiction. Hey guys, if you guys are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Looollll, and I know I look different. For those who are returning subscribers, I know I look crazy because I'm always in makeup and my hair is never done usually, but now it's opposite. My hair's done and I got bangs and I'm not wearing no makeup. So this is a crazy mythical For You page pull. Now, I want to start by preface and saying this. All of the things that I'm saying here is not written by me, 1, and 2.
Listen, look, and listen.
Everything here in this whole series is satire. I'm going along with the joke because this is freaking hilarious. And I cannot believe that this has stemmed to something so crazy and different. The next video I will be posting is reacting to your guys' fan arts and edits. Those are going to be 2 separate videos, so make sure you stay tuned for those. But yeah, let's jump right in. So Looollll Writes is actually a person in my Discord. She's so awesome and she's so active in my community. So she went ahead and made this. So let's start with the summary. A freak accident involving a quirk malfunction brings Looollll to a place that she would have never expected. Desperate for answers, she seeks out the only place she knows. UA High. Or Katsuki still remembers her. So this is chapter 1. We're gonna be reading chapter 1 today. This is going to be a multiple part series. So grab your popcorn, grab your snacks, guys, because it's time. Today I'm gonna be eating some Simple Mills. I don't know, I just picked them up. Maybe a few Cheez-Its. This is not a healthy snack at all. I do not condone this use of eating. And Takis. This is actually really bad. I need some fruits in my system. Maybe next week will be healthy. Alright. Let's get started. Izuku dusted his hands off as the police dragged away the villain clad in his black robes. He hadn't been a very good fighter, so Izuku was able to restrain him with Black Whip without much hassle. There's bigger fish to fry now, though. Kacchan has been turned into cardboard. Izuku walked back over to where the human-shaped piece of cardboard lay flat on the street. It was definitely Kacchan, just a much younger version, and he was in a suit for some reason. Bro! Canon writing. Oh, Izuku squeaked, poking the cardboard with a finger a few times. You in there, Kacchan? No answer. Go figures. Kacchan's younger, empty eyes stared up at the sky with a cocky grin on his face. Izuku tried not to be too worried. They had come far in development and overall use of Aries' quirk, so Izuku was sure that they'd get Kacchan back. In a little while, or in 24 hours, what's up? If Best Jeanist had been correct, for now though, this was probably the funniest thing Izuku had the privilege of witnessing. His former classmates were going to get a kick out of this one. Whoa, that was spicy. Whoa, damn. I feel like I gotta get like voice actors for this. Not gonna lie. Bro, this is funny as shit. Is this really him? Kirishima gawked, prodding the cutout. The former members of Class 1A were gathered for their monthly hangout session that they had all agreed on attending after graduation. That's so cute. Izuku had brought the cardboard cutout of Kacchan because why not? Oh my god, this guy's a rage baiter. He's really never gonna live this down. Denki snorted and Izuku stifled laughter when he positioned himself in front of the cutout and took a selfie. How old is he, like 15? You need to get out my house. Like, now this shit's getting weird. I actually have no idea. Izuku shrugged, rubbing the back of his neck. It's been so long since I've seen him in his suit. He must have been younger. So yeah, maybe 15 or 16. The rest of the class took turns taking pictures with the cutout, filling their phones to the brink with epic blackmail material. The quirk had worn off before Recovered Girl even had the chance to look at Kacchan, and the angry blonde replaced the cutout in a chaotic transformation that unfortunately caused the power to shut down. He looked exactly the same as he did on the last day, minus the mask. Izuku noted. The only thing different was the bundle of pink floor clothes that he had in his left hand. Where on earth did Kacchan get those? Izuku gasped. Surprised that the blonde hadn't incinerated them on sight. He knew not to ask questions though. Kacchan had acted off the rest of the day, but Izuku figured that he was just tired. He didn't ask for any details of what happened, merely expressing his gratitude that he returned and wishing him farewell as he stalked back to his apartment. I freaking hate the rain. Katsuki Bakugo shot himself through the air at a leisurely pace. He always hated the rain. Well, maybe if he hadn't hated it before he got his quirk, but the rain made it such a chore to operate at full capacity. It cooled his body down, preventing him from producing as much sweat, as well as dampening the explosive power of his blast. Rain coming into contact with his quirk also produced ridiculous amount of steam, which made him look like a damn fighter jet when he was airborne. Not very subtle, Katsuki, not very subtle at all. The rain represented everything bad or difficult to think about in his life. It reminded him of cold and windy nights out alone on the treehouse he and Deku had built. It reminded him of the broken pleas of his best friend, of Katsuki coming to terms with a lot of effed up shit he had done in the past. It reminded him of the fire in his veins, and conversely the sensation of being completely drowned as his heart lurched to a stop and icy nothingness crawled all the way up to his fingertips. It reminded him of death. Damn! This is a crazy fanfiction. Like, I don't know why I was expecting like ootsy-footsy little fairy tale, like, oh my gosh, Bakugo, what are you doing here? This is crazy. This is like legit, like, this is legit. He really hated the rain. These days, crime was also slow. That best genius had no other assignments for Katsuki other than menial? I need to go back to school. Like menial patrol routes. There was so much free time that Deku hardly ever needed to drop by and help out. Focusing on becoming a teacher at UA or whatever dumb shit he wanted to do, he was at least happy to do it. Katsuki supposed. Unlike himself, he hated days like this, weeks like this. It was almost 5 p.m. once the bell tower chimed. Katsuki would be free to clock out and spend the rest of his day doing other boring shit. He would hit the gym, exercise his quirk, make dinner, then sit down and spend the rest of his night binging whatever sappy romances that they were airing on TV. If not that, he would read a book. He would occasionally be invited out for drinks with shitty hair and the others, but he hardly accepted the invitation. He was stuck in an ironclad routine. Real me right now. Maybe that was good. Katsuki couldn't decide. After all that happened at UA, daily life as an inspiring pro was so dull. Bzz, bzz. Katsu's ear vibrated, signaling that an incoming call. Katsu grumbled under his breath, letting himself hang in a free fall for a moment as he pressed the device once to accept the call. Like, why is this great writing? Genius, why are you calling me? It's boring, Rain. I swear if you ask me to do another night shift, I'm gonna... Hey, Kacchan, it's me. Even worse. I know who you are, nerd. Katsuki hissed, rolling his eyes aggressively. Now why the actual hell are you calling me? You know I'm on patrol. Of course, Kacchan. I'm so sorry. Deku started sputtering in his whiny voice, slightly static because of the in-ear. It's just, there's someone here at UA, I mean. She says she wants to talk to you in person. She? Are you pulling my leg? Why the hell would a girl at UA want to talk with me? Katsuki literally didn't talk to any woman. Not that he couldn't, if he wanted to, which he never did. He poured all of his time and dedication into hero work. Muffled voices crackle on the other line. Then Deku starts to say something again. She says her name's Alyssa. Everything stopped. It's me, y'all! It's me, y'all! It's me! Hey! Hey, it's me! It's me! It's me! So if you try to find me into the sorry night. I used to pray for days like this. I really did. I used to pray for days like this when I was 15, reading fan fictions all the way up, all of quarantine. To see my name in a My Hero fan fiction, girl, we made it. We up. What are you talking about? These are really good and really not at the same time, but screw it. Guys, at this point, comment down below what you guys are eating with me right now for snack time. Katsuki cursed as he damn near crashed right into the building. Wait, she said her name was what? He let himself free fall again before using a couple short blasts and landing his feet first onto the street below. Steam billowed around him in huge clouds. Alyssa, do you know this girl, Kacchan? There's another voice in the background telling Deku something. He can't make it out. She says you do. Okay, wait, how? Katsuki started confused and morphing into a really frustrated. Stay with her, nerd. I'll be over as soon as I get off the ship. Okay, Kacchan. Cut off. What the actual is happening right now? 2 hours ago. Streaming in 30, see you soon, Pookies. Alyssa quickly typed out a message on her Discord and hit send. To say the day had been average was a wild understatement. It's been painfully average. Oh well, she mused. Live streaming always proves to be interesting in some way or another. Real. Canon Alyssa core, canon Alyssa core. Alyssa hopped up from her bed, and as soon as her feet touched the floor, her vision started swimming. Oh shit, she mumbled, sitting promptly back down. This wasn't normal. Was she dehydrated? Sick all of a sudden? She hadn't felt sick all day. She waited until her vision cleared and then stood back up, planning to make a trip to the medicine cabinet to see if they had anything that could help her sudden vertigo. She hadn't made it far before her vision started to swim again. Okay, what the hell? Her ears started ringing loudly, her thoughts clouding over. Just thinking was like trying to move through sticky tar. Her vision completely blacked out, and the last thing she saw as she fell in onto the floor was a scuffed up black mask that she had hung on one of her monitors. Present. Muffled voices, footsteps, cold. Alyssa's eyes blinked slowly open, surprised to find that the pain in her head was almost completely gone. Damn, that was a weird fainting spell. I should see my doctor. She looked down. She was on asphalt. Street. A hand touched her shoulder. Bakugo? Just kidding. Excuse me, miss. Do you need any help? A gruff voice accompanied the hand. Alyssa spun around to look at the man. It was pouring rain outside. No, I'm okay, thank you. I'm gonna say I. I'm gonna start saying I, because this is my fan fiction. I can do what I please. I used to pray for days like this. I'm gonna say I, because this is my story. Shout out Rayla. No, I'm okay, thank you. I managed to say. I needed a second to think. Was this another crazy dream? The civilian, a large, stout man who looked to be in his 40s, smiled and pulled back his hand, telling me to have a good day and continuing his way down the road. I stood up. Alyssa stood up. She didn't have any shoes on. Oh. I didn't have any shoes on. And my socks provided such little cushioning against the hard pavement. I was absolutely drenched. Baby tea plastered to my body, and my gray sweatpants heavy and uncomfortable around my hips. I didn't even want to think about how awful my hair and makeup looked right now. I didn't, not one moment. It was a disaster. I woke up in My Hero Academia and everything was just shit. I looked around trying to figure out why the hell I passed out in my room and woke up on the street. Like, what happened? I was still too stunned to think about getting out of the rain, so I continued standing on the road. I literally stood on the road. I was close enough to a sidewalk, and I was sure as hell didn't want to get hit by a car. No. It looked to be around dinner time. People walked back and forth. People were in raincoats, holding umbrellas over their heads. Shop lightly faint illuminated the crowds. What? The signs, girl? They were in Japanese. I'm gonna start reading this like it's a story time. Now that I'm in, wow. Giggity goo. Now that I'm in the story, I'm gonna read it like a story time because this is my life. And you can't stop me. I paused, girl. Dead in my tracks. I was like, wait, what? All the signs, they were in Japanese. Everything was in Japanese. Street signs, the advertisements, everything was in Japanese. The people around me talking in Japanese. But why could I understand them like I was speaking English? That was the weird part. A terrible, dreadful thought cursed my freaking mind at that moment. It was something I didn't want to believe, but simultaneously, it was the only thing that made sense. I turned on my heel to back up the middle-aged man, tapping him on the shoulder. I told that guy, I said, sir, I know this might sound weird, but where the hell am I? This guy chuckled in my face and said, hey, I had never had somebody ask me a question like that before. You are in Mustafu City, missy. It was like I was in an anime and my eyes bulged comically out of my sockets. I smiled, trying to keep my composure, right? I go, okay, thank you, sir. I faltered, I gave him one last smile, and then I was out that I said, that's a fake city in my head. I was like, I must be in a different universe, but how? Nothing happened to me back home. I'm like thinking all this shit. I'm like, what happened with the villain and all that? I need someone to talk to, and I need someone to talk to fast. The only place I knew where to go was UA High. My nerves were running. I was walking down the street. I didn't know how uncomfortable it would ever be to walk in only socks, but I was figuring that out. After a few minutes of walking, I found a bus stop, and along with it, a guide for what buses went where. Perfect. I couldn't read Japanese. I could only understand it in spoken form for some weird-ass reason. Because of this inconvenience, I tried to get the attention of at least 30 strangers, who all promptly ignored her. Perfect. Thank you so much for ignoring me. So eventually, I found my savior in the form of a spindly old woman. She was awesome, cloaked in a yellow raincoat, holding a small wooden cane. Shout out my bestie. The old woman said that she lived near UA, so I went with her. Boom, clocked it. I stood in the ever-present pouring rain for about 10 minutes before the large blue and white bus screeched to a halt at the stop. Climbing in and taking the seat near the back by the old woman, I slumped my back into the seat and I bit my lip because I was trying not to cry. For real, it says right here, I was trying not to cry. Like, this was too much. Like, how am I in a different reality? Like, how? I was thinking, I was like, is this how Bakugo felt? And then I was like, oh, Bakugo. This strange encounter had been nearly 2 months ago. Not that she would ever likely to forget. She missed him sometimes. And when she laid awake in her bed in the early hours in the morning, she had been glad that he was able to return to his own world, though he wouldn't have fit in hers. Nor would he have found any sort of joy not being able to use his quirk. Alyssa was brought to the realization that she should probably find some way to talk to him. Maybe he would have more information on why she appeared here. Okay guys, if you didn't know, I've been reading this on stream for a very, very long time, but I decided to sit down and make some YouTube videos about it. This was supposed to be a One Piece? This was supposed to be a one-chapter story that was supposed to be fun, easy, quick read, but Rayla decided to make it into multiple parts. The first fun chapter that I thought that this is actually the first chapter. I think she switched around the first chapter. But essentially, what happened is there was a villain who was using his quirk and sent Bakugo into a different reality, and because I had the cardboard cutout of him in my room, he swapped. So he was in my room, and the cardboard was in UA. Okay, so we literally like hung out for like 24 hours and it was super awkward, and then he went back to his reality. So that's what is going on here. That's why I'm like, oh, Bakugo might know what this means, but now it's like an actual full-fledged novel. Don't ask me any questions. I must have zoned out because the next thing she knew, the old woman was prodding her with her cane, telling her that they had arrived at their stop. She was like, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. The rain was still coming down strong. It's coming down. Alyssa stepped out of the bus and thanked the old woman profusely. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. How do you say it? Arigato gozaimasu! She croaked. Good luck, dear. Thank you so much, ma'am. I attempted to give her a genuine smile before heading in the direction of UA High School. Ooh, this place is a lot bigger than I thought. I stood astounded at the sheer size of the school. Have they done renovations? Added additions to the existing campus? Alyssa figured out that could very well be the case. As soon as you leave school, that's when they want to start doing all the renovations and shit. Duh. It had been, what, 2 years since she had read last about the high school in the manga? Determined to get out of the cold and get information, I made my way through the looming gates of UI. I stopped at the glass door and I gulped and I pushed them open, revealing a large waiting room with high ceilings, couches that had placed against the walls, and a large reception desk at the far left corner. Okay, girl, that's what I saw. I hesitantly approached the desk. Girl, I was scared. Like, I was in a whole new area. There was a woman behind the desk, and she was in her mid-30s. Her hair was in a bun, glasses low, sitting on the bridge of her nose. She looked up from the computer. Hello, miss. What can I help you with? She told me. I said, I literally sound like Deku. I said, hi. I was wondering if, who am I asking for? This woman probably doesn't have direct contact with Bakugo. Who does? Oh, I know. I knew it. I said, if there's any way I could talk to Izuku Midoriya. Ooh, gagged. Get it? Because he works at the school now? Duh. I know he graduated 4 years ago, but it's really urgent. I need to talk. You're in luck, miss. The woman smiled, picking up a small white device. He just so happens to spend a lot of time here shadowing Miss Aizawa. Oop, not miss. You look good as a girl. Mr. Aizawa. In fact, he should be finishing up for the day right about now. Oh, wonderful. Then I remembered. I am going to be meeting the Izuku Midoriya. How has my life come to this? That's what I was thinking about. Here, clearly. Izuku Midoriya, please make your way to the reception at your earliest convenience. The woman spoke into the intercom, her voice crackling to life and filling the building with sound. Perfect. Given, let's see, 3, 2, 1. Rapid footsteps squeaked against the polished floor as a bolt of dark green shot from the door further into the building, nearly tripping over himself as he scrambled across the room to where Alyssa was standing next to the woman. I'm about to meet Izuku Midoriya right now. Chat, how does my hair look? How's my hair look, chat? Do I look good? Do I look cute? I'm about to meet the #1 hero. Let me lock in. Let me lock in. Miss Ayate is stuttering count. I'm gonna need one. Miss Ayate, Izuku wheezed, clutching his chest and letting out a hard-hit breath. I guess he really still is the overachiever, I thought to myself, amused and awestruck at his presence at the same time. Izuku slowly turned to Alyssa quickly, eyeing her tragic state. Oh, hi. He practically squeaked. I don't know you. Are you... Why, she called me down? Correct, Mr. Midoriya, Ayate say. I didn't catch your name, sweetheart. Oh, Alyssa. That was Diego. Alyssa said quickly, turning to Izuku. I needed to talk to you, Mr. Midoriya. Izuku sputtered, flushing a deep shade of red. Why are you getting flustered, bro? Like, what is going on? Why are you getting flustered? Like, I don't understand. Not the flushing a deep shade of red. That is diabolical. Period, though. Like, okay. Waving his hands around. Oh, Izuku's fine. He was actively avoiding her eyes. Is it really Izuku if he hasn't turned into a stuttering mess around woman his age? I thought, amused. Real. He's always been like that. Well, Miss Diego, would you like to speak here or someone private would be nice, and call me Alyssa. I smiled awkwardly. Do I have Riz, chat? I have Riz in this universe. I have Riz in this universe. Alyssa smiled awkwardly. Izuku blushed an even brighter shade of red. Oh Lord. And then he says, oh Lord. Oh, of course, follow me, Alyssa. Izuku said, and he waved me down the hallway. Izuku was a few inches taller than Alyssa. He wasn't tall as Bakugo though. Like, I know what that sneak means. Like, goodbye. His face and his arms were scarred, at least from what he could see. From the way he had rolled up his white dress shirt to his elbows, he looked older. By the way, guys, in this fan fiction, they're 22. All right, that's what Rayla said. She said that they were 22 in this fan fiction. He looked older, just as Bakugo had. His face was less round and his eyes held something wiser, something knowing. He still looked like a dork though, and he was faintly blushing even though Alyssa had hardly spoken a word to him. That is so freaking cute, like stop. She sat across from the man now in his office with a small room with a bookshelf, a desk piled high with papers, and it had a small chair in the corner, which I occupied. Do you want me to see if I can find you dry clothes, Miss Alyssa? Izuku blurted after a moment of silence. It was Alyssa's turn to blush now. I know you're not looking at that clinged, wet baby tea, grasping for air around my muchachos and around my little tiny perfect waist. Like, I'd be blushing too, like, oh, no, I said, quickly shaking her head, knowing full well she looked like a drowned rat. Oh. Okay. No, like, I thought I ate. Like, I thought it was like the wet girl look. I thought I ate, but you went ahead and said I looked like a drowned rat. Okay. Not me catching strays in my own fic. A drowned rat. Okay. Shut up, bro. She looked like a drowned rat. Her hair was still damp and her clothes were sticking to her. Her socks leaving wet marks on the floors. At least not until I ask you some questions. Damn, okay, Miss Dominance, like her. Okay, Izuku chirped. So what's going on? I don't remember ever seeing you here as a student. Alyssa told Izuku everything she could remember about the last 2 hours. She told him about her blacking out, waking up on the street an hour or so away. She told him about living in a world without quirks, as well as her strange ability to understand Japanese like it was English, but not being able to read it. Izuku's eyes were glued to hers as she told him what she knew. His eyes started widening in shock near the end, and he seemed to shift into a more serious mood. Alyssa finished her story with, and so I didn't know where else to go, so I asked around for a place where people steal quirks, and someone told me to go and look for you. She lied a bit at the end. Ooh, why am I lying? It would have been really weird and awkward for her to try and explain the truth. That she knew what Yue was, knew who Izuku was, and was actively seeking him out. Izuku blinked and then smiled, but it looked as had been forced. Uh-oh. Oh, wow, that's a crazy weird story, he said. I actually have a couple ideas, but I need to make a few calls first. Would you mind if I stepped out for a few minutes? Okay, businessman, That's fine, Alyssa said, and then she realized that she had one more question to ask Izuku. Can I ask you a question? Go for it, he beamed. I was wondering if I could talk to Bakugo. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. You want to talk to Kacchan? If it's not any inconvenience, I backpedaled. It's just a really big mess. But I know him, all right? Ooh. Ooh. His eyes widened even more. Bam. You know Kacchan? How? When did you? He paused. Well, you'll have to explain this to me more, but I need to make those calls, and I suppose you can get a hold of him. He'll be on patrol right now, but he glanced at his watch. It's almost 5. He should actually be done here soon. Right. It hadn't been too long since she had seen Bakugo. Alyssa had almost forgotten that they both probably still worked as sidekicks under Best Jeanist. Izuku pulled out his phone and dialed the number that she assumed was Bakugo's. Eventually, whoever was on the line answered, and Alyssa could only hear muffled, angry voice shouting something at Izuku. Okay. They exchanged a few sentences before Bakugo... If I stutter one more time... I swear to God. Before Bakugo inevitably hung up, leaving Izuku to sigh tiredly and turn back to Alyssa, who had stood up from her chair in anticipation. This is really crazy, but Izuku started looking slightly puzzled as he stared blankly down at his phone. He actually agreed to come over here after the shift ends at 5. Like, stop! Like, I'm literally her. Like, I'm literally her, and you can't tell me otherwise. Like, I'm literally her. Like, yes! I'm literally her. Clock it. Like, you just want to be with me so bad in every universe. Like, stop. Thank you so much, Alyssa grinned. Izuku glanced away, his face flushed red. Boom. More Riz, right there. Boom. Riz after Riz after Riz. Oh, of course, Miss Alyssa. I need to stop doing that voice, bro. I gotta get a job. Now I should probably make those calls. Just, stay here and I'll be back in a few minutes. I can't stop. Hopefully, with some answers. Okay, Alyssa said, sighing and sitting back down on the extra's chair. Perfect. Alyssa glanced at her phone. It showed the time, but otherwise, it was completely inoperable. Probably due to the reality shift, it had been 20 minutes since Izuku had left the office, and neither him or Bakugo had showed up. Oh, so you're late to our first date. Oh, okay. So you stood me up. Oh, okay. Don't piss me off. Of course his slow ass is late, Alyssa grumbled. Her hair had mostly dried, but her clothes, especially her sweatpants, were still damp and wildly uncomfortable. If I was sitting in wet-ass clothes this whole time, I would have literally bombed UA myself. That's a crazy statement, but it's fictional and it's not real. Everything I said was a joke. She wondered what they would do after this. Would they would be able to send her back right away? Would she have to get a hotel somewhere? She didn't have any money, so she wasn't sure how she would just do about anything in the city. This reality she had... Oh my god. There's no way my nail just came off while I was trying to itch my head. Oh, that is so embarrassing. Stop it now. Okay, moving on. She hoped Izuku would be kind enough to help her out. She thought about the prospect of meeting the real Bakugo again. Would he remember me? I mean, I certainly remembered him. He was a lot more memorable than she was. Hopefully he remembers me. I mean, getting sent to a different universe and meeting this random girl who low-key knew you had to have been a memorable experience. Would he yell at me? Would he refuse to talk to me? I mean, he probably wouldn't do that considering he had come up. I'm spiraling. My thoughts are spiraling. They're interrupted by the hushed arguing of two voices approaching her door. And I stood up. Oh god. We're about to meet him, guys. We're about to meet him. Alyssa locked eyes with him. He stopped dead in his tracks. Hi, Katsuki, she started, just trying to wrap her head around the fact that she was looking at him in person again. Hey, Pookie. He was in his full hero gear. Like, stop. He was in his full hero gear, which was still soaking wet from the rain. In fact, he was actively dripping puddles onto the hardwood floor. His hair was wet and drooping around the sides of his face. Oh! And he had pushed up his new mask to act as a headband to keep the mop of hair out of his eyes. Oh my god. Okay. No, I see you. No, that's fine. Like, okay, what did I do? Alyssa couldn't read the look in his eyes as he stared at her. I'm losing aura as we speak. Both of them ignored Izuku and were looking back and forth between them nervously. Hey, Extra, Bakugo finally said. His tone was surprisingly soft. Like, you missed me! Like, I know you did! Like, I know you did! I knew it! Like, I know you did! She was surprised at how much his presence relieved her. It, Alyssa thought, stepping up into the blonde and wrapping him in a bone-crushing hug. Okay, girl, relax! Oh my god. Girl? Oh my gosh, I need to get a hold of myself. No, like, I need to get a hold of myself. Like, stop. Stop it. His clothes were cold, but he was so warm. He tensed under her touch, his whole body going rigid, gauntlet arms hanging awkwardly at his sides, but he didn't push her away. Oh, wow. After a few moments, Alyssa pulled back, embarrassed. Izuku stood in the doorway, completely slack-jawed. Gaping at Alyssa was a look of complete confusion. Bakugo cleared his throat, and Alyssa opened her mouth to speak, but he cut her off. Oi! Stop! Like, I can't. Rayla, you're great author. But every time I hear oi, like, I can't. Like, I think of the larva, the oi larva, like, I can't. Oi! Stop. Before you start your long-ass story of how the you even got here, put some dry clothes on, you look like a drowned rat. Okay. Alright. No, because you really thought, okay, no. I look like a drowned rat. You were in the rain too, ho! Not the drowned rat again. Why did you double down on the drowned rat, okay? Like, there's no way you double down on the drowned rat. He tossed her a plastic bag that he had been holding in one hand. Where did he get pink? Holy shit. You're kidding me! She exclaimed, taking out the You're kidding me! She exclaimed, taking out the familiar... Oh my god, if I stutter one more time. Taking out the familiar floral sweatpants and the bright pink t-shirt. You kept these? Izuku's eyes looked like they were gonna bulge out of his sockets. Bakugo sputtered, his face heating up. Don't ask stupid questions, extra! It's the only girly shit I could find. And don't you dare complain about them being too big, because I know damn well it's better than what you have on right now! Okay, I laughed. I couldn't help it. He looked like such a dork right now. He knew he had taken the pajamas back with him a few months ago, but she fully believed that 1, he had not meant to take them in the first place, or 2, taken them purposely and then tossed them out. Seeing the pajamas in her hand once again was something Alyssa could never expected, not even from Bakugo. You kept the clothes I gave you. How sweet of you. You're in love with me and I know it. Get the frick away from me. Okay, dumbass, go change then. Bathrooms are down in the hall to the right. Okay, sorry, I said, scampering off to the bathrooms. She figured out that her mind was trying to block out the reality of her situations by creating humor in things, but damn. If that whole interaction wasn't hilarious, I snickered to myself as I found the woman's restroom and quickly changed into the dry clothes. She left her undergarments on, of course, but it was nice to not have to wear the damp sweats and the shirt. I have a wet thong up my ass right now. I would be livid. I would be livid. I would be livid, okay? I would be livid. Yeah! Stop. Unfortunately, the pajamas were absolutely way too big, and I felt like I was drowning in fabric. Oh well, the pants somehow tightened enough to stay on, and the clothes would do for now. She returned to Izuku's office, and Bakugo and him were talking about something once again. Bakugo sparred her a glance, looking like he was trying to hold back a laughter. Prick. How dare you laugh at me? Swimming in your pajamas, like, you're so crazy, like, stop laughing. Okay guys, I made some calls and I think I might have an idea of what's going on. Izuku sighed. Let's figure it out. Her clothes looked ridiculous on her. She was practically swimming in the pink pajamas and her hair was slightly frizzy and mussed from the attempts at combing it back with her fingers. Stop! That is so humbling! That is so humbling! I was like this. You know when like little girls try to like move hair out of their face and they're like this? That was me. Her eyes were slightly dark around the edges, her eyeliner smudged and running down her face on one cheek. She looked... No, he can't say that. What are you thinking in your head? What are you thinking in your head? Oh my god, stop. Let's run that back. Let's run that back. Can we run that back? Let's run that back. Her eyes were slightly dark around the edges, eyeliner smudged and running down her face on one cheek. She looked... No, he can't say that. It was interesting, really. Katsuki had never thought he would ever see this girl again. That day 2 months ago had been one of the weirdest in his entire life, and that says a lot. Begrudgingly, he admitted to himself that she must have made a lasting impression on him, or else he wouldn't have remembered her immediately. Why had she made such an impression on him? She had locked him away in her room and bought him stupid clothes and made fun of him all night. Frankly, she had been irritating. Why had he even bothered to remember her? Why did he frankly rush over to see if she was okay? She was with Deku, right? She was fine. He wanted to see her. It irritated him. Stop. Because it's irritating my eyes. What do you mean it irritated? Oh my god, you literally want me like in every universe you want me like I literally know. Back up. Back up. Back up. Girl, bye. He continued staring at her. He was looking intently at Deku, who had begun recounting the alleged phone calls he had made, deciding that it was best that he stop acting creepy and figured out this mess. He, too, trained his gaze on the nerd as he spoke. Okay, so I called a few people, but I need confirmation of something before I jump to conclusions. Kachan? What nerd? Is Alyssa from the universe you were transported to 2 months ago? Yes, Kachi mumbled. What the hell does that have to do with anything? I see, Deku mused, looking at Alyssa. The villain who brought you here was the same villain who brought Kashan into your world. Katsuki watched Alyssa's eyes widen. He was surprised himself, though it made the most sense logically. I called a friend who works at Tataris, Deku continued. He told me that early morning that they had tried testing a new quirk-eliminating drug on the villain, but the villain's body had rejected the drug, mutating it instead, causing his quirk to malfunction. Katsuki listened instantly. My friend said that they don't know exactly how the quirk was malfunctioning, but that their monitors were able to catch it doing doing strange things the villain shouldn't have been able to do. They couldn't find any evidence of his quirk affecting the outside world, so they wrote it off as a non-threatening side effect. Izuku's eyes were calculating. I guess they were wrong on that note. I still have some theories to test out, but right now, the most likely answer to you appearing in our world is that it's a result of the quirk's villain going haywire and somehow drawing you to this universe. A pause. Katsuki looked back at Alyssa, who looked like she was trying and failing to hide her panic. It had been quite a jarring experience for him. He couldn't even imagine how she felt. Wow, empathy, Katsuki? You must have got hit in the head, you moron. Boy, bye! Get out of here, bro. Okay, Alyssa, slowly. Me. Why am I in this universe? Like, stop. Okay, I began slowly. Hands fidgeting in my lap. Is it a 24-hour thing? Deku looked at her with sad eyes. I'm afraid not. From what my friend was telling me, the villain's quirk did not return to normal, so it's logical to assume that whatever he did might be permanent.
Stop it right now! Stop!
Me and my hero forever? Katsuki was thinking, permanent. Stuck here forever? No way. Alyssa's mouth opened as she wanted to say something, but Deku continued, not letting either of them speak. My second call was to recovery girl and a few of her colleagues. She had already been informed of the quirk malfunction, and currently working on scene to produce a drug that will reverse the damage done by his quirk, as well as a drug that would work similarly to bring you back home. But how long will that take? Alyssa wasn't holding it together very well at this point. She stood up from her chair and started pacing, tears pricking the corner of her eyes. Katsuki felt bad for her. I need to get back home. I can't stay here. I can't. Deku stood up, putting a hand on her shoulder. Hey, don't worry. He'll be okay. Recovery girl told me that it should only take around a week or something like that to make it work. He smiled at her softly, and Alyssa sniffled. Calming down just a bit, Katsuki felt a weird spark of annoyance. Why? Because he put his hand on me? Yeah! Is that why? You're so funny. Okay, I guess that's not the end of the world, Alyssa said softly, wiping her eye and smearing her eyeliner even more. What do I do? Where do I stay? I don't have any money. I can't get like a hotel. Oh, Deku started. Katsuki bristled. Of course, I didn't think about that. You could stay with me. You silly little goose. You little scary little moose goose. You are a little moose goose. Katsuki interrupted. Both heads turned to look at him. You'll stay with me, extra. But Kachan, Deku started, surprised. I have an extra bedroom! Katsuki snapped, annoyed that the stupid nerd was even putting on a fight. She knows me, and she stays with me! Oh, shit! Boys, oh my god, you're pulling me every which way! Okay. Let's not fall over. If I fell over, I would have deadass ended the video and said, good night, I'm not reading anymore. That I would have fully crashed out. Hold on! Oh, by the way, that's my hand squeaking, guys. I'm not farting. I promise. Okay, Deku looked at Alyssa. Okay, well, is that okay with you? She looked at him, slightly awkward but extremely confused. He narrowed his eyes at her. Yeah, thank you so much, Izuku, but I can stay with Katsuki. She swallowed, nervous. Goodbye! Why was she so nervous? Oh my god! She knew Katsuki better anyways. Hell, she didn't even know that damn nerd at all. He had a way nicer place anyways. It was a totally obvious choice. Okay, meeting's over. This is dumb as shit. I'll be in touch! Katsuki huffed, standing up from his chair and gesturing to Alyssa, who had looked like there was way too much thoughts going through her head at once. Come on, extra! Okay. She stammered, looking back and forth between him and Izuku. Thank you for doing all of this for me, Izuku. Maybe we could talk again. Deku's face flushed a deep red and he scratched the back of his head nervously. Oh, no problem, I'm happy to help, and of course we can go on a meetup or a talk or whatever. Holy crap, he's such a dunce, Katsuki thought, grabbing Alyssa by the hand and pulling her out of the room. Okay, bye, Izuku, she said quickly. Izuku slammed the door in the stupid nerd's face. Let's go! More! Yes! There are 5 comments. Wait, first, let's see what the comments say. OMG, this ate so much. Girl, please give me more chapters. I need them! Loving this so much. Oh my gosh, you guys. We just read the first chapter of our fan fiction together. How crazy is that? Honestly, the writing is freaking phenomenal. I know I'm like skipping some lines and like acting stuff out, but if you guys want to read it for yourself, the full experience, I'll link it in the description box so you guys can go read it for your guys' self and actually like read it and enjoy it. But yeah, again, this is just for entertainment purposes only. This is so freaking awesome and fun. I love this. Thank you so much, Rayla, for writing this. You are so awesome. You have been such an amazing supporter and such an amazing part of my community, and it just really like makes me feel like you guys are my supporters. Like, you guys aren't fans or anything like that. Like, you guys are friends and supporters, and like I just really appreciate you guys being so involved in the community and going along with these inside jokes. It is so much fun, and I'm so happy that we get to read it out loud for a bunch of people to see. So if you guys like this video, please make sure to thumbs it up and let me know in the comments down below if you guys want to see a part 2, because there are 3 chapters that are out right now, and they get better and better and better, and Kotsky gets closer and closer and closer. So this is only the beginning. Let me know if you guys want to see more, and thank you guys so much, and have an amazing night. Bye.